we're back for another 5-9 gaming video. I am here with the homie Goresh. And we, of course, got two major whales to talk about this free-to-play unit. LR Babidi and Buu. We're the most qualified, of course, you know?
Yeah, I'm the free-to-play extraordinaire, of course. All right, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the event or the unit, or what do you want to do here?
I mean, I think we could start by talking about the unit. I do actually think that this LR is fairly good. I think on paper they can potentially look a little bit mediocre. One thing that can be difficult to judge with these Prime Battle LRs always is the fact that they always have these flat number buffs all over the place, right? Plus 40,000, plus 30,000. I think one thing with those, though, compared to percentages, is like back in the day, it's like, oh, this is so bad. But that was always with the assumption that leader skills would continue to climb, right? But we pretty much have plateaued for years in like the 150 to 170% range. So like, I don't even know that that really is a negative that much anymore, right? Like it's just the flat numbers compared to the percentages.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I would say that's just regarding the flat number boosts is that we were under the assumption that at some point they would stop doing those. And once we started getting easy A's, especially for like the Prime Battle LRs, and even now for summonable LRs, like, you know, LR STR Broly, the fact that there's just an inevitable point where all of these units are going to get an easy A, and once they get an easy A, look what they've done to the Prime Battle Goku, the Prime Battle Frieza. They had flat boosts going into their easy A's, and then once they got their easy A's, they have now a percentage boost.
Yeah.
So this unit at some point will get a percentage boost when they get their easy A's, right? Yeah,
you mentioned even the summonable unit, LR STR Broly. Yeah, he was a flat number as well before. Now he's got the percentage buff. That's true. So, again, this Babidi and Buu, one thing that they've got that, like, any unit that has this really can look very good in any given turn is that they have a guaranteed additional that has a chance of being a super attack. And that's the correct way to have that, because when you're getting that guaranteed additional, then, you know, this is a free-to-play unit, so even free-to-play players could, you know, easily have this unit rainbowed or with dupes or full abilities or whatever. And in that situation, right, you're going to have a good chance, since you're always going to be doing 2 attacks, of then getting the third one, the Hidden Potential System additional attack, because it could proc from either of their 2 guaranteed attacks. So units that have that really can tend to output just a lot of attacks, and then, you know, you could get multiple crits per turn, and then multiple super attacks per turn, where this character has this crazy, you know, medium chance of sealing and stunning on both 18 and 12 key. Like, I could definitely foresee that being very valuable in a lot of events in the game.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, this unit having the opportunity to perform multiple super attacks in one turn is going to give you more chances to activate those effects on the super attacks, right? So both the 12 and 18 key have a medium chance of sealing and a medium chance of stunning. So if you're running this unit on something like the Majin Buu Saga category ESPR stage, or just the regular SPR stage, if you're somebody who hasn't beaten that yet, like, this unit's going to be able to help you out if you get lucky with those effects, right? Just stunning an enemy, like on the last fight of that stage, it's, you know, the 1 unit stage, or 1 unit fight against Super Vegito. If you stun Super Vegito, you pretty much win, right?
Yeah, so. And that's a stage it's coming to global in the future, and it is really tough. Like, that Super Vegito you mentioned is actually like one of the strongest enemies in the game. Like him, and then I believe there's a Gogeta in the Patara Extreme Super Battle Road stage, and they have like 20 million plus HP. Like, you know, free-to-play players will be fighting them for 10 turns. So a character like this, yeah, that's got the sealing, the stunning. They also do have a little bit of healing there, which this is one ability I've never really found to be that impressive, is where they get a very small amount of HP regen at the end of the turn in which an attack was received. I feel like it's not that impressive, but when you're comboing that with, say, like LR Buu tanks, or, you know, like some of the other, like, you know, Fat Buu and Kid Buu have infinite regeneration, and you're just accumulating a bunch of healing from a bunch of different sources, that's where I feel like that ability can actually be solid, right? And help you in, like, that extreme Super Battle Road stage as well.
Yeah, and something I wish they would have actually done differently with that ability is I wish it would have been recovers 5% HP. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking about maybe because it would have a bad interaction with Big Bad Bosses, but Big Bad Bosses is dynamic because it doesn't matter if you enter the turn with an HP percentage or not. I think it's fine. 5% is kind of low. You know what's actually funny about that is that it's kind of weird that it's not a flat number. It's a percent for a unit like this. It's a prime battle.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't even remember though the last time I've seen a character have like a flat healing number. Like the only one that comes to mind.
Tanks and Ghost.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say physical Bulma. Like that. That's the last one I can remember. I think she heals like 7,000 on super attack or something like that. Yeah, there's
Doesn't Go Tanks and Ghosts do a flat heal? And I think also one of the Ribrians does too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That the STR Ribrian. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think she heals Rainbow Orb, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's the same as Go Tanks and Ghosts.
Okay.
But something I'll mention about this unit too that I also just mentioned with the EZA for the physical Vegeta, that's also coming with the Celebration on Global, is that this Buu and Babidi are on Terrifying Conqueror. And that's a category that just keeps getting buffed after buff after buff after buff, right? So it's like Cooler Cooler just keeps getting more value every time one of these units comes out.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who has Cooler, and Cooler at this point on Global has been on a decent amount of banners. So if you're somebody who even has one copy of Cooler, and they're chucking these Terrifying Conquerors units out one after another, you can just throw them all on a team and they're going to work pretty good with Cooler, assuming you're running up against a stage with multiple enemies like Super Battle Road, because Cooler's going to obviously be able to provide the buff to them when there's multiple enemies. The only problem with that is I don't think there's a Terrifying Conquerors SBR yet. Right?
No, nope.
Yeah. So the problem with this unit is that Babidi actually hurt.
I was gonna say you could use that team for extreme class SBR though.
That's true.
EXBR, because that stage is brutal too. So running Terrifying Conquerors with Cooler like true leader skill can be very helpful in there.
I was gonna say like Babidi actually hurts this Buu a little bit for the reason the fact that he's on this card is gonna hurt the card overall is because he's not on transformation boost, right? So you'd normally be able to run this Buu alongside Cooler on transformation boost SPR, but because Babidi's here, he's not on the category.
Yeah, I think it does kind of offset, right? Because Babidi's there, we lose him on transformation boost, but that's basically what puts him on Terrifying Conquerors at the same time, right? So it's kind of...
That's true, yeah, that is true.
A give and take. I think categories is probably like one of the weaknesses of this sort of unit, right? Because again, Babidi and Buu themselves just have nothing in common. That's one thing that Dokkan, I don't know... That would be an area to improve, is that some of these like dual units like this just end up having like nothing, right? I mean, we talked briefly before we started recording, but it's ridiculous, of course, that like they consider like Babidi and Yakan and Pui Pui and Majin Vegeta and these characters to not be on Majin Power. It's just a silly decision by Dokkan that really hurts a character like this, Majin Vegeta, Dabura, all of them, right? Like especially because like this character, I mean, they share what, like 5 out of 7 links with the LR Babidi and Dabura, I think.
Yeah, I was actually about to mention that too, because Babidi and Dabura support Majin Power and they're not on the category. If this unit and that unit were both on the category and you had that rotation available to you where it was both the Babidi and Buu and then Babidi and Dabura, that would be a great rotation to use under like LR Buu Tanks' leader skill, right?
Yeah, you would be able to run that rotation on a lot of teams too. Buu Saga, Join Forces, Terrifying Conquerors, Inhuman Deeds, like they're on all the same teams with a lot of the same links. Like the units are set up like pretty much exactly the same. They work really well together because like they both get stronger in sort of a similar manner, where if the enemy's got attack down, defense down, stun, sealed, like they're actually very similar. So it does appear as though they were designed to be used together, honestly.
Yeah, it's strange that they're just like restricting you and in the way to where you actually just can't really use them as well as you would like because you're not in the category. It's weird.
Yep.
And then I guess in terms of the event, go ahead. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to add is that they are a Buu Saga leader of category Key 4 and 130%. I do think that's relevant because there's now 5 Majin Buu Saga leaders who have like an actual buff. You have the SCR Vegito, the physical Super Vegito. You have Dabura, who at 120% for Battlefield could be good. You have this Babidi and Buu, and then you also have Babidi and Dabura. With those 5, I think free-to-play players could probably easily be able to build like a backup team in Dokkan Battlefield, potentially utilizing this LR's leader skill right here, right? Because like I always see a lot of people are still struggling sometimes with Battlefield, and so having like backup teams ready to go is really big. And then I think utilizing this unit's leader skill could be a good Like Battlefield is a good way to do it, and they could be good in Battlefield too, because some of those stages can be stunned, can be sealed, right? So having these types of abilities can be helpful in there.
Yeah, and then one other thing to mention about the leader skill too is that the 4 key is going to be really helpful, I think, because Majin Buu Saga is a team that they very clearly, have split up into super and extreme variants of that category. A lot of the support units buff either just super Majin Buu Saga or extreme. And I feel like the fact that this is leader skill that's plus 4 key, if you're somebody who doesn't have access to, a wide variety of either super or extreme class, and you have like a mixture of both, you can sort of mix and match units on this team that are both super and extreme, and that extra key from the leader skill is going to help you like actually super attack with everybody consistently. Like, I don't know, maybe you have a rotation where it's Buu tanks, like LR Buu tanks, and like the 3-year int Vegeta or something, where they wouldn't link up really well, but that extra 2 key that you're getting from both leaders is going to actually help you super consistently.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, talking about the event, honestly, I think it's pretty easy, right? Like, at these Prime Battle events, free-to-play characters are just so much stronger than they used to be. They're legitimate characters now. Like, so many of these EZAs, you could just build, I don't know, a Goku family team led by Goku and Gohan, a Vegeta family team led by the Vegeta and Trunks, utilize the Dokkan Butoden cards. Like, there's actually just infinite ways you could just crush this event, right? Like, it's not difficult to beat at all. If you have the Prime Battle LRs done, like, their 12 key super attacks one shot every single phase. Like, it's...
Yeah, do you think first form Prime Battle EZA Frieza is good here?
Yeah. The only thing I will say is I did grind the 777 medals twice. This character is annoying because the boss can seal and stun you. So, like, a character in slot 1 does fairly often get sealed or stunned, which is just a pain, right? It doesn't make it difficult, it just extends the amount of time, which is annoying because you have to do the stage, 100+ times or whatever it is to get all the medals needed.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's going to be that difficult, right?
Yeah, I was just, like, rotating in all of my Link level 1 free-to-play units, right? Like, I think I used the Goku as lead, and then the rest I was just bringing in free-to-play units that I wanted to get Link levels of, because it's a 25 stamina stage, so you do get Link levels at a fairly decent clip. So a lot of my free-to-play characters, I was utilizing this to get them up to, like, Link level 5 and stuff like that, and then in the future I'll take them into 23 to finish them off. But I think that's a good way to utilize some of these Prime battles upcoming, is just get, some free, cheap, easy Link levels for some of your free-to-play units.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just looking at the list of units you can bring in here. Just bringing the rotation of, like, the int Final Form Frieza and then the STR First Form Prime Battle Frieza. You're just gonna one-shot them every single time, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's probably what I'm gonna do.
If Frieza or Goku, if the Prime Battle LRs get a super attack off, he's dead. Like, Frieza or Goku. Like, there's no situation where you don't just instantly win, right? Like, you look at,
and then
there's just so many good like, Global has even the Great Saiyaman and Videl. They're gonna be incredible in here, right? Like, there's a lot of ways to utilize it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're somebody who's looking at this and trying to figure out a team to use because you're new to the game or whatever, this whole event is physical, so just build an SDR team, and you're going to have a much better chance. So, that's pretty much all we have for this Prime Battle Babidi and Buu. Let us know down below if you guys are excited for this unit. It is the first Prime Battle we are getting since Krillin, which released... I know, they actually, what's funny about this is they actually released Krillin almost exactly 1 year ago in JP. But on Global, I think they released, like, 10 months ago, or 11, or 10 or 9 months, something like that. But it's been a while since we got a Prime Battle here, so this is cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you all
real quick, before we finish, remember, Global players, that JP is already getting a Legendary Challenge campaign for this unit coming up next week. So make sure to get them done now so you get the full rewards, because it's not that long till they get a Legendary Challenge campaign, even on Global. It's only going to be a few months away, so get them done now. Don't wait.
I actually think we could see that Legendary Challenge campaign coming to Global, like, in between the anniversary and the Worldwide Download Celebration. I think that's a good time for that to happen on Global. But
It would
That
make
being
sense because
said-
like they could slide Videl. Videl seems like the unit they slide in at the start of August, and that's
Yeah,
Buu Saga,
yeah.
so that makes a ton of sense. Yeah.
Yep. All right. See you guys all in the next one.
Later.